I'm gonna be a dad possibly as early as tomorrow. You cannot slow down for anybody. I have recently started taking, this is a life update for where I've been the last few months when it comes to YouTube, all the exciting things I've been working on, a little bit of insight of what's ahead for me, for Beau Maples, for the brands that I'm incorporated with. And this is just a long overdue video. And you know, to cap it all off, I'm gonna be a dad possibly as early as tomorrow. And I really did not have the time to get this video out. This is the last, thing on my to-do list for the last week now that I've been powering out. I probably worked 100 hours in the last 9 days now. And at least, and this was the last thing that I wanted to do. This was literally the very last priority, but I was just getting ready to leave the studio for today. I was like, you know what, future me is gonna look back, and if I didn't do this video, I'd be so upset with myself because it probably would have been the most important thing out of all 100 things on my to-do list the last week. So this is my last update, my last piece of content before officially becoming a father and starting that journey in my life. So besides me referencing that right now, I don't really want to talk about that again because my next video will be fatherhood. And if I remember correctly, my last YouTube video was in like October, maybe mid-October. And it would have been in regards to the next, which would have been drop 2, discipline over motivation drop at that time. And man, how times have changed since then. I don't work in the same place anymore. The clothing brand has gone to a complete next level. As far as like me and myself with biography, that's completely changed like directions with what we want to do with that. And just locking in on like the type of clients we accept and what we want to do, what we want to help people with, how we want to stand out. And then discipline over motivation just continually gets better, like I think I find the next best thing. Then a month later I'm like, wow, that thing was ass, and now what we're doing now is fire. You know what I mean? So it's just like been like consistent steps forward when it comes to the brand. And I have this new studio now, all to myself. Signed the lease here in January, and I have it for a couple years, and I'm just absolutely chilling. The space is beautiful. Everybody that comes by loves it. It's nice because I can bring my clients here. It's only a few minutes from my house, whereas like my old studio was about 40 minutes from my house, and it just wasn't convenient. But this place is fire. Everybody loves it. I love coming here. This is like my zen, you know what I mean? If I want to be ultra productive, I come here. I swear I get 10 times more things done just because limited distraction. Everything around here and in this room is stuff that I built, you know what I mean? In terms of like the culture and the meaning behind everything. And it's just super, it's blessing to be here, to have this studio, to have the things I have, to have the business I have, to have the people I have in my life. And so let's get right into it. If there's one thing I've learned the past few months, it's been that you cannot slow down for anybody. You can't give too much of yourself to anybody. You can't, invest in something if you aren't absolutely guaranteed a return. And I don't mean, financially or anything like that. I'm referring to like your time and your quality of life, your own quality of life, and your energy. So if you're investing energy in something and you're not getting like, immediate results, it's just one of those things like time and energy, you need immediate results. If you're talking about financially, you might not always get immediate results, and that's fine. But as long as the plan is good, the blueprint is good, then you know what you're in for. But that's the biggest thing I've learned the past few months is that if you're putting your time into something, into somebody, into a partnership, into a company, if you are not getting, if you're depositing your energy and not receiving energy, then it's a bad thing and you need to walk away from it. And this is hard, and it's very hard for me because I'm one of those people that I like to see the best. I try to see the best I can in every situation, in every person, and everybody's vision, you know what I mean? Because I know how I look at what I do and what my message is and what I'm trying to do, you know what I mean? And I believe in myself. And the fault that's put me in is now like, thankfully I've gotten out of this, but like I would believe everybody else in their vision too, thinking that they had what it takes. And a lot of people just don't. I've learned that I'm unique, and I love that, but it's hard because you think that everybody's like you, and the problem, nobody's like you, you know what I mean? You can find people that are similar to you for sure, but nobody's ever gonna be like on like the same wavelength as you. You can find your people out there that are close, but nobody's ever gonna be on the same wavelength as you. And that's okay. It's okay, it sucks, but it's okay. There's not crap you can do about it. You gotta keep doing what's best for you. And you know, I don't know if I'm using this word right, but like what feels right is like you wanna be like unapologetically selfish in terms of like taking care of yourself, your mental, your finances, all that good stuff. And don't rely on something or rely on people that you know, can't be relied on or can't even rely on themselves or have no track record of, you know, any sort of success or anything like that. Now that I've shared some of the things that I have learned in the recent few months, I want to share some of the things that I am working on at the moment. So discipline over motivation is going to continue to keep kicking ass. I don't even think I've announced this on social media yet, but the next drop is going to be April 19th. It's going to have a lot of camo stuff. It's going to be super, super, super fire. It's going to have an insane vibe to it. We're going to have customized hats, a little bit different than we've done in the past. Just a lot more like attention to detail. We just did all the accessory stuff a few months ago, or gosh, few days ago. Sorry, it's been a long couple weeks. And flags, stickers, car air fresheners. We have keychains on the way. A couple other goodies for you guys. Custom shipping material. It's just the brand is growing, and it's so crazy because it's only been a few months, and it's doing so good for a startup with absolutely minimal startup cost or startup investment. But the team for that is growing. It's better than ever. You know what I mean? I've been able to develop a good team over time between the athletes, some of the people, and more like the management side of the company. And honestly, it couldn't be better. We've continued to refine the team and the circle that we have involved as we go forward, and just make everything as best as it could possibly be based on like the goals I have for the brand, where the brand needs to be, where it's going to be able to find success, and the bit of a niche that we've been locking in on as we started. And the cool thing about that is like I don't really think this brand has a niche. You know what I mean? As we get more money, more funds, we can start broadening out even more. But discipline over motivation, it's for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're in the fitness. You can be in the real estate. You can be a doctor. You can be a stay-at-home mom. You can be a teacher. You can be a lawyer. You can be whatever. You can be a bus driver. Discipline over motivation. It applies to all areas and walks and aspects of life. And that's the cool thing about this brand. So that's the scoop with discipline over motivation. With Beauography, again, we've just been changing the direction a little bit of like where we're going with things, and kind of more going like agency instead of like content production, media production. Obviously, we still do a lot of content stuff. It just like really select with like who we work with and the time we spend, and just making sure everything is good there. But I've learned that we need to work smarter, not harder. So where does my skill set enlarge? And that is in the space of just like being a director. Hey, do this. Hey, do this. Hey, maybe we can hire a company to do this for us. You know what I mean? Rather than being just a content guy, I'm good at everything. So why not oversee everything happening at once, rather than doing offering one minute service within whoever's personal brand or business. I don't usually do stuff like this, but I real quick will show you guys 2 sneak peeks for some of the stuff coming in the new drop. Obviously, this is just a blank camo tee, but this is like the model tee we're going to be using. So this is going to be one of the 2 camo shirts we go with. And then this is going to be very similar to a new hat that we're going to launch. So in this next drop, we got 4 shirts and I think 5 hats. So that's pretty fire. 5 hats. I might keep one for like the drop after. Probably not. No, I'm just going to drop it because they're all going to be fire. And yeah, so it's good stuff. So if you watch this YouTube video, then you got to see something unreleased and not shared anywhere yet. One thing that I did want to share with you guys, this is absolutely insane news by myself, and it is that I have recently started taking testosterone. Now, let me clarify, TRT, prescribed, perfectly legal. Ain't nobody can take it from me, you know what I'm saying? I did everything the right way rather than going underground, being sketch. I feel like, like the position I am in, my like reputation in life, like I don't need to fool around with doing things the wrong way and get busted and all that. So I've just decided to do it all the right way. And here we are, and I'm about, let's see, I took my 5th shot today. So I'm about 2.5 weeks in, 200 milligrams a week, TRT. And I will be starting some enclomiphene after my first 30 days of running tests. Usually people don't do that, but I wanted to see my full blood panel after the first 30 days of just on TRT. So obviously I'm not gonna become infertile in less than a month, especially at TRT dosage. But, and you never know, but I'm super excited about that. You know, if you were to ask me why, I'm sure you guys are wondering, why am I doing it? It's not to get huge. It's not because I work out every day. It's not to stay lean. The physical benefits are obviously a huge bonus and selling point, but being an entrepreneur, being busy, about to be a dad, all the things I have going on, I have low tests naturally. That's why I was able to get prescribed. So, you know, and I'm somebody that does everything right. Works out, trains, sleeps, low stress. I should have decent tests. Granted, I used to be fat, but I should still have decent tests. And, you know, I got tested, I was low. I was 5'11", which isn't like crazy low, but it's low. You know what I mean? As somebody 24 years old doing all the things, you know, best as possible that I could, you know, do, you know, and I was only 500, like that's pretty bad. You know what I mean? So that means like if I was, you know, cutting, for example, or something, and low on food for a couple weeks and then started getting like a bad mental edge, like I'd probably be dropping down to more like 300, and that's just not, that's horrible. So, you know, I did it mainly for the mental benefits. I have started feeling effects and results already. Like, for example, I didn't want to film this YouTube video, and I said, oh, frick it, let me get up, set up the whole studio production, blah, 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 without even thinking about it, you know what I mean? And I realized after I was doing this, I was like, man, this does not feel like me. It's like 7:45 right now. I need to be going to the gym because I still got to go home, hang out with the lady, eat dinner, play some Call of Duty all night. You know, last night as you know, a non-parent, and I know a lot of that was to do with the test. So I'm super excited. I say test, but it's TRT. So TRT. Yeah, so I'll keep letting you guys know about like how I'm feeling with it and all that good stuff. You know, you guys will see in my physique change. It's already been changing from it. I know it has. So if you guys have any questions about how I did it, or maybe you're thinking about doing it, and I'm not saying this that I can help you get started. I'm saying if you have questions and you've already been thinking about doing it and you know you're gonna do it, if you don't have anybody to talk to about it, you can come to me. I can offer you like the little bit of not help or guidance, but like I can share with you what I did, because I did read up, study up, figure out how to do things the right way, rather than just sticking myself and, you know, buying a bottle from the biggest guy at your local gym. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I've done. And so yeah, that's the other big aspect to this video. This is not gonna be in the thumbnail or anything like that. So, you know, if you start watching this video, then you got lucky figuring out this bit of information as well. One other thing I wanna let you guys in on is that you've probably seen like some of my Instagram or Snapchat stories by now, but I'm thinking about starting like a little bit of like a mentorship group, like a one-on-one thing where you guys, obviously it would be paid, get to kind of join like my little community. I'll make a Discord, but it'll be very like intimate one-on-one stuff too, where like, you know, we can help you guys, I say we, but it's me, help you guys, you know, build an online social media presence, figure out how to make money in social media with sponsors, with companies, with getting brand deals, whether you're the aspect of like the influencer or the aspect of, you know, you're a small creative, right? Like you do photography, videography, social media management, you have skill sets within the social media side of things. Bro, I know the ropes, you know what I mean? I've been doing this. I used to make no money a month, you know, when I started my social media, my media company, which would have been early 2020. I never remember if it's 22 or 23. I want to say it's 23. I made no money. I made less than $5,000 over the course of 12 months. And it was exactly 12 months because it was January to January. And then it was the next January. Yeah, it was 22 to 23. I made less than $5,000 in a year. And then in 23, all of a sudden in January, I started making bank because I kind of like figured out the formula a little bit, all self-taught. And, you know, as I got further into things, I would, you know, learn things, pick up things. But, you know, 99% self-taught at this point. And, you know, I used to go from making no money, you know, five figures or $5,000 a year to $5,000 a couple times a month. So, you know what I'm saying? if you guys are interested, I'm gonna be doing something like that very, very soon. It's probably gonna be called like the Take Action group or something like that. If you follow me on Instagram, you know like the whole take action is like my thing. I think that's like where a lot of this comes from. You know what I mean? Like as far as like getting up, getting shit done, taking action on your dreams and goals. Get up, take action. So it's simple, learn, take action, and whether it's providing the service physically or learning how to provide the service, you know what I mean? It's just, everything is take action. Get up, take action. 99% of the people fail because they just don't, you know, can't take action. I don't know if that's a real statistic, but it probably is, so let's go for it, you know? But I am gonna be doing something like that very, very soon. I'll do like group stuff, intimate one-on-one stuff. You kind of just, you know, would opt in, and help you guys out, you know, super intimately, and help you make some damn money. So I know everybody wants to make money on social media, so I'm gonna, you know, lay out the blueprint for you guys, figure out, you know, how I can help you do it, you know, custom to what, you know, your already skill sets are, your goals, where you want to end up, and all that good stuff. So again, lots been going on. Another quick thing too, intake breathing, the nose strips. You guys have definitely seen that all over my stuff. These things are a lifesaver. I've been watching their ads for years now, and now I have a position with them, you know, as an athlete essentially, and super fire. Pretty stoked, and there's gonna be a little more news with the intake breathing stuff coming soon, but I definitely can't get into that yet. So it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be life-changing. I appreciate you guys and all your support, all the ones that have been supporting me since day one, all the ones that have been supporting me since today. You know, if this is the first piece of content for me you're seeing. And it's just crazy how like every few months for me, life is just completely different. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the change that I go through every couple months is like what usually takes normal people like a couple years. And that's why I've grown and scaled and figured out how to make decent money and figuring out how to do even better. And it's crazy. Like, and all it is effort. Like I'm telling y'all, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Cause I'm kind of retarded, you know what I'm saying? And like, I just do my own thing, figure it out. I figure out what I want, I figure out how to get it, and I do it. Like, and it's not that hard, you know what I mean? You have some early mornings, you have some late nights, and that's about it. You know, you take some risk, you spend some initial money on some investments to buy yourself a laptop or a camera or whatever it is in your case, and then you make it happen. So you take action, you know, that's all it is. So again, Discipline Over Motivation drop, April 19th. Use my link in my Instagram bio or my YouTube bio, intake breathing, save 15%. I get 15%. You can't use code BEAU on the website. They don't do sales codes for some damn reason, but you can use my link to save money, and it supports me a little bit too. The Take Action group is going to be coming soon, whatever that looks like. I might call it something else, but it would probably be the Take Action group. You can join now. If that's open, you can join my Discord that's open. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for watching this video. Again, I'll touch on the fatherhood thing starting as early as tomorrow again. So this is Monday, March 24th. And we're being sent to the hospital tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have a baby on Tuesday, maybe it'll be Wednesday, maybe it'll be Thursday, who knows. But little baby Juniper is gonna be coming this week, and I'm so excited to be a dad. You know, it's insane, actually. Like I've always wanted to be a dad, you know. I thought about it damn near every day since I've been conscious enough to have a brain and to be able to think. And like, I'm about to be a dad this week. Like that's actually insane. Little girl, and you know, just crazy. Honestly, it's just crazy. My ultimate goal with that is just to be the dad and be the parent that like I haven't had. You know, my dad was never perfect, and he was never always bad, but like he's not in my life anymore, and that's by his choice. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, you know. So my goal is just to always be there, always care, always show that I care, always show up no matter what, and just love. You know what I mean? Like as dads, as Christians, as humans, as family, like we're just love. That's all you gotta do is love. And like, you know, love means a lot of things. It means all of those things I just listed and a million more things. Just love. And you know, if I'm following a perfect father as my mentor, if you will, as my guide, the lamp unto my feet, the light unto my path, the Lord, then I'll be okay. I'm never gonna be perfect. you know? So that's one thing me and my dad will have in common, but I'm always try. So, you know, I'm excited, and I'm excited to start the Maples empire officially. You know, that's been like the thing I've always said, like just I want a lot of kids. I want that big, large, you know, dinner table, you know, Robertson family style, big family dinners, lots of good food, lots of, you know, good vibes, laughs, how's your days, everybody knows everything about everybody, you know, in the family, and just family, like I want family to come first in my family, and I'm gonna be the start of that. It's never, you know, my family now like isn't disconnected, but like I've just always wished it was more, you know what I mean? And I think it's one of those things like you get to the end of your life and you know, you regret not being there with your family, because who starts life with you and who ends life with you? Your family. Everybody else you met in the middle doesn't mean anything, you know, unfortunately, at the end of the day. And, you know, your family is who's going to always be there for you. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch this video later in life, reflect on it, see if anything I you know, said now I thought was stupid, vice versa. And I appreciate you guys. Next video, I'm gonna have a little baby girl in my hands, so it's crazy work. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking with me, Beau Maples. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, take action. That was so gay. Have a good one. Leave a like, subscribe. Peace out.